And let's talk about McDonald and Associates right now. Stan, I read an interesting article the other day that said home prices basically across the nation have risen 11%, 11.5%. Yet in Alabama, they've gone down at only like 3% because the foreclosures that they faced in that part of the country now are coming, finally, now we're starting to see them.
Well, Jamie, and also another thing about those statistics, our home prices are up from what they were a year ago. And also, so many transactions take place in places like Florida, Arizona, and California. So the bad that happened even worse in Florida, California, and Arizona. We were a little bit insulated here.
Exactly.
So the fluctuations are not as violent, I guess you'd say, in a place like North Alabama. But there are still a lot of people underwater. And thankfully, things are recovering some. But prior to the mortgage meltdown in the late 2008 or so, people were getting 100% financing on their home, in some cases even more than 100%. So it's that amount that you owe and amount what you can sell it for. When it's like that, it's underwater. And as we've discussed many times before, what McDonald Associates does is help people get up above the water, breathing again. Sometimes they call it upside down. We help put people right side up.
Right side up.
Correct.
Well, I know you guys know what you do because short sales take a long time, or they're difficult to maneuver.
There's a bureaucratic maze to it, really, to be honest. Jamie, lenders really want a short sale instead of foreclose. They really, really do. The truth of the matter is, though, the government has gotten involved to some extent. So they have their requirements on what a lender can do. And also, there are people who would fraudulently try to take advantage of the situations. And so there's a lot of red tape. And so we have come in and specialized because we know the rules and the laws. We know how to creatively, skillfully, and patiently work through the situation. So while everybody wants to see a short sale happen, it's a win-win situation. It still is hard to do because there's just a lot of red tape, frankly.
Basically, when you start talking about underwater and stuff, that affects a lot more people than I think the average citizen around here realizes.
Well, as we've talked about several months ago, the statistic was 1/3 of American homes were underwater. We find that just you and I talking here probably kind of hard to believe, but let's just say it's 25%. That's a lot.
Still a lot.
I've told you before, as we've discussed, you can go to lunch today with 4 or 5 friends, and if you describe what underwater is, you can tell. At least one of them probably is.
Yeah, and most people immediately think, okay, they're going to foreclose on my home, I'm going to have to file bankruptcy. Because bankruptcy attorneys contact these people.
They sure do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a much, much better way out of this
Better
thing.
option.
I won't name names, but we had lunch with a prominent bankruptcy attorney yesterday and explained to him what we did. And he said, you need to explain this to more and more people in the distressed homeowner industry because, frankly, someone who even is, I know I'm confused right here, but even someone who's forced into bankruptcy anyway can still be helped by short selling their home, even in bankruptcy. And so, the short sale option is, it's a really good, helpful option.
Now, you guys are doing all you can basically get the message out. You're doing mail out, you've done some calls and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, folks, you know somebody, whether you go to church with them, whether they live down the street from you, whether they're a relative of yours, you can avoid bankruptcy, avoid foreclosure. All this stuff, if you just give Stan and them a call, and Matt, they're local. They're not one of these bankruptcy, foreclosure. They're just, they're the type people that you need to get in touch with. They will save your, basically, dignity and credit.
Well, it's what we try to encourage people, and I'd say it to the folks in the camera right now. If you're in the situations that Jamie is describing, then now is the time to be proactive. Now is the time just to talk to your lender, or we will do it on your behalf, and simply say to them, we want to be part of the solution. There's a problem. We want to be part of the solution, and we can be in a positive way.
If they have to file bankruptcy, then you've got the signs out there, your neighbors, everybody knows it. This is a way that it's confidential and nobody knows anything. You're just selling
we're
your
big
home.
supporters and big allies here of Stan McDonald and Associates. Y'all give them a call. You got any questions, contact us personally.
Good group.
And we will tell you about it. You can give us a call at 603-4848. There's Stan's number right there and all of his associates over in Madison, Alabama. Thank you, Stan, and
Thank you. Congratulations.
War Eagle.
Wow, you got him to say it.
I can return the mutual.
Hey, before we go to Lonnie and Bonnie, and then we come out of the next break right quick, yesterday I was over in the Shoals area, Donnie Fritz, thanks for remembering who he's a great guy over there. So I'll have that interview for you next week, but got a little of Travis them in a recording session with Donnie Gullett. Here's a little bit of that video, and we'll come back in just a second. Y'all hang on. All right, that's the legendary Travis Womack. We'll hear more from that interview next week. Travis actually had a double-sided 45, Matthew, was a song, a record about that big back in our era. And Travis had 2 songs on. He wrote them, and he sings. He sings one of them in just a second when he's 11 years old.
Remember, he had 8 tracks.
I'm more of an 8-track kind of guy.
Oh, that's right. I got Alabama's 8-track players right here.
Yeah, I had that just taken out of my truck, or else I'd asked to borrow those from you. So.
They're still in plastic. What do you give me for?
I don't know.
How many hours a week did you work last week, Matthew?
It's probably close to 40 last week. So.
Okay. He got on to me, Stan, 2 weeks ago, saying I only work
He didn't get on.
1 hour a day, 4 days a
He
week.
just made a
Talking about you?
statement.
Yeah, talking about me.
Pretty smart. You work smart.
Yeah, that's right. See, I'm not, see, you got several businesses to run. I only have one. I do such a poor job of it, I can barely, afford to. I can't even wear regular pants anymore.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, we're going out here in just a second. Anyway, Matthew, anything special going on at Chick-fil-A?
Not a whole lot here. So we've got a new store opening in Hampton Cove next Thursday, so that'll be big. So I'll be over there. It's not mine, no. It's a guy. Chuck Rice will open that store up, so he's a good guy.
Is it going to be on 72? On 431 right there?
Right,
near
right
McDonald,
close to that intersection there. So,
Peach milk.
Hey, when we lived out there, there wasn't nothing.
Well, they have Chick-fil-A now. At least next Thursday they will.
Next Thursday,
yeah,
new Chick-fil-A opening
so
up.
stop by there and see them. So, yeah.
All right, Stan, anything going on you with football, anything you want to talk about?
Well, football-wise, like you said, we're waiting for season to start. I tell my Alabama fan friends that we may not beat y'all this year, but we may score 50 points. You got to beat us 55-50,
Don't bring up that game. That's the worst game I ever experienced. And we were talking yesterday with John Dees. We were talking about 2 games that were the worst games ever. That game and the 17-16 game in 1972, when the same person blocks the same punt, same person picked almost identical plays. What's the chances of that happening?
Well, it was unbelievable. But the play that still hurts me as an Auburn fan, the game was the Van Tiffen kick. In '85.
Game in over to the little
Roll Tide.
right?
All right, let's just go straight to Lonnie and Bonnie this morning. Lonnie's selling property on the river. Anybody wanting to make an investment out there, take it out of one bank, put it on another one, right, Lonnie?
That's right. It's 1 acre. You'll have more.
Tennessee River.
Yeah, you'll have more. Let's go straight to Lonnie and Bonnie. They take us out there playing Tuesday night in Summerville at the courthouse. It's all y'all's.